The Life Coaching Toolbox Podcast is brought to you by Joeel and Natalie Rivera of Transformation Academy. In this episode, Natalie talks about the Purpose Quest Life Story Activity. This episode is one of 14 episodes in a series that walks you through the complete Life Purpose Quest virtual workshop.
So now it's time for the Purpose Quest Life Story Activity. The purpose of the Purpose Quest activity is to put your life and the things that you wish to change into perspective. One of the main reasons that many people are unsatisfied in their life or not living in alignment with their higher purpose is because of the stories they tell themselves and others about their life and who they are. They tend to tell themselves stories of limitation, stories of the bad things that happen to them, and stories of the way that they're supposed to live, what they should do, rather than tell the story of their potential, the gifts that they've been given, and the dreams in their heart. This process will help you see your life story more clearly. Instead of continuing to tell the old limiting stories about yourself and your life, you will create a new story, one that acknowledges your pain, but also celebrates your triumphs. By the end of this process, you will be able to see not just the individual stories that you have about different things in your life, like who you are and what happened to you, but you'll be able to see the big picture. And when you see all of who you are with curiosity and an accepting eye, then you can be the observer from the outside looking in, and you will see that yours is a beautiful story, one with meaning, one of a unique human being on a journey, a quest to fulfill a greater purpose. The way this process works is that unlike other activities in this program, the goal of this specific process is not to sit down with this exercise and complete it. Instead, it's meant to be an ongoing part of the journey, meaning that every time you complete another stepping stone, we're going to come back to this activity and complete the story summary for that segment of the story. The workbook for this activity will become the summary of everything that you learn about yourself, about your story, throughout this entire program. The story you write throughout this process will be almost like a mini memoir about your life up until this point. However, at the end of this program, you'll be completing a second part of this Purpose Quest activity in which you'll be writing the next chapter of your story, based on the purpose that you've discovered throughout your Purpose Quest experience. You will have a new perspective of the meaning in your life and of your own potential, and you will feel empowered to take control of your pen and write the story of your own future. So, through this program, when you are working on your life story, we encourage you to engage your imagination through visualization. Your life story is like a narrative about what happened in your life, what it means, and who you are as a result. However, if you imagine your story as a movie, it becomes more real. By seeing yourself as a character in a movie or on a stage, you can then more clearly see the images in your own mind of your story, which normally would be in the frame of some sort of a memory. Your life movie follows a similar structure to a movie too, including a plot with a background story, some climactic scenes, and a main character, which is you. So for every summary exercise, for each stepping stone in the story process, take the time to write about your main character. And then imagine that you're writing a screenplay to a movie. If you're an avid writer, this exercise might even inspire you really to go out there and write the details of your story on your own time. However, for the purpose of this activity, you can keep it really short and simple. But as you do it, imagine the scenes playing out in your mind like a movie. This engages more of your senses, and it lights up your brain and makes you more fully engaged in the process. Now, at the same time, keep in mind that not everyone can visualize or remember memories in the same way. Some people's imaginations are extremely visual and they'll see really accurate, vivid images, but other people have more of a feeling experience where they might feel emotions or sensations, or they might have a sense of what happened. So However you imagine or remember, the goal is to think about the life experience that you're writing about as if they're real. See it happening in your mind, or feel like you're experiencing it in real life. And this will be even more important in the final activity when you'll be creating a vision for the next chapter in your life. Making it real in your mind will make it a reality in your life. So here's how it works. Just like the plot in a story or movie, you're going to start at the beginning, where you tell the story of who your characters is and their early life experiences that formed the worldview that your character has. And this is where you're going to record a summary of what you identify in the first stepping stone of purpose, which is your childhood influences. And then next, you're going to introduce the star of the show. You're going to share about the main character's personality traits, their passions, their talents, and their dreams. And this is where you're going to be recording a summary of what you identified in the stepping stones exercises, which is personality, stepping stone number 2, and number 3, which is your passions and interests, and number 4, which is talents and skills. Then you're going to tell the character's actual story, focusing on the important experiences, pivotal moments, and climactic scenes. And this is where you're going to record a summary of what you identify in stepping stone 5, which is the life path. And you'll finish this portion of the process by writing the current scene about what's happening in your life now, including where you might feel limited. And this is where you're going to record summaries of what you identify in stepping stone 6, which is your limiting beliefs, as well as elaborate a little bit about your current life situation, which is going to be the jumping off point for the next chapter. And that is where this part of the exercise is going to end. But it won't exactly be a to be continued for long, because then we're going to jump right into writing the next chapter after you complete the final step in the quest, which is discovering your purpose that everything was leading you towards. So take a few minutes now to look through the Purpose Quest life story activity so that you can see what's coming and know what to expect. And then when you're ready, it's time to take that first step in the quest by looking at your childhood influences and then returning to this activity to start writing your story.
Visit transformationacademy.com/toolbox to download free life coaching worksheets that go with the activities discussed in this podcast, plus other resources for creating a thriving life coaching business.